It's both exciting and a little bit sad at the same time, you know. Exciting because we get to tell a story that we've been waiting to tell for a long time. We know exactly what, I'm sorry, I'll get clear, this is my apologies. We know exactly what we're driving towards, so there's a great deal of momentum because of that. Sad because it's the last season.
How do you want to leave fans who've gone through this whole journey, through this, through these characters, on this very character-driven show? What do you want them to feel when the credits roll for the last time?
I don't want them to be angry. I don't want them to be satisfied, but I also do feel like, you know, when we approached the show 5 years ago, it was very much the case where you were kind of approaching the canon, you know, and like wanting to have a take on it. I would like them to feel when we finish the show that we've actually, I don't know if I say become canon, but like have become now an accepted part of like the Batman story. That it's not just like jumping on top of the ship like we were 5 years ago, but actually now is like when people think of that storyline, they think of this as part of the story.
Well, you told a segment of the Batman story that really has been not as much explored. It's always that time jump from this terrible thing happened to him as a little boy, and then suddenly he's an adult. You've taken on the journey in between there.
We have, but we've also changed things too. You know, I mean, absolutely yes. But I think there are things that we adjusted and changed that, I mean, obviously, like the Barbara character doesn't exist in the timeline. Jim Gordon doesn't do all the things he does in the canon that he does in our show, you know. I don't think that Penguin and Enigma have the relationship they have in the canon they have in our show. So I think so. So we definitely shifted some things at the same time. I mean, Maroni gets killed in season 1 of our show long before Batman ever appears.
Right.
So there are liberties, but there also, as you say, there was undiscovered territory there for us to look at.
Can you talk about the introduction of Bane with Shane West?
Yes.
Thank you.
I hadn't realized how much we gave that away by titling an episode "I Am Bane." That really was kind of that did kind of do it. He was a character that we'd wanted to do for a long time, you know, knowing that we were probably gonna hold off on him, you know, and we were kind of waiting for a long time for the green light from DC that we could use the character. So it was really once we were knowing we were getting to the end of the show. When we brought him in, you know, a lot of times in the books we know Bane is when he appears fully formed as Bane, even though, I mean, Christopher Nolan gave us some backstory in The Dark Knight Rises, so we really wanted to like tell the story of how did he become Bane in many ways, while preserving key elements of the his mythos, like Peña Dura and Venom and everything else, keeping those there in his storyline, but adjusting them in a way that we hadn't used them before, as well as giving him a backstory that ties into Jim. And also, we made his creation story a part of No Man's Land, too, so that's obviously different.
And he breaks the back?
He does break the back.
He breaks the back, that was really...
He does do that. Yeah. But we had to have that happen. I mean, you know.
Can we expect the return of some fan favorites such as Poison Ivy?
Ivy, yes, Ivy will be back. Poison Ivy will be back. Perennial favorite Victor Zsasz is going to come back, because Anthony is so funny. And he's really, really good, too, when he comes back. Scarecrow comes back, and B.D. Wong comes back as Hugo Strange a couple times, which is always it's so great. I love that guy. He's hilarious. Who else comes back? Mad Hatter comes back. We kind of like, we got to bring them all back as much as we possibly could. We brought people back. Yeah.
I remember in the first season, it was at New York Comic Con, I think, and I was told the vision was the ending would be Bruce becoming Batman.
Yep.
Is that still the plan?
Well, episodes 1 to 9 are really No Man's Land. Episode 10 takes place 10 years in the future, and it's specifically 10 years in the future so that somebody can come on and put on a pointy hat. Yeah.
Ooh.
So in the end, do you plan to have like everything answered and kind of end on like a collective note?
I think we wanted to end on the sense of like, why does the city need Batman, and why does Jim Gordon need Batman at this point? So we hope that when we end, we've answered that question of like, why are you telling? If the question behind the show is like telling the story of the city that created Batman, hopefully you get to the end of the series, answers the other question a little bit too. Well, into that episode and go, oh, I get now why he had to come at this moment, you know, and for these reasons. So we do kind of hit those main characters, and you see that character interact with our main characters as well in various ways. So.
We have time for one more question, guys. Sorry.
What was the decision behind having 2 time jumps for the next season? Like, how is that going to factor into how the final season plays out?
There are actually 3 time jumps.
Yeah,
I
3.
know. Yeah, it's a little confusing. Probably should have thought that through a little more. The 10-year time jump we knew we'd had to have. That was always going to be in episode 10. There was a time jump in the very beginning where the show begins with a piece from episode 9. So it's going to be the end of No Man's Land, and then we cycle back, you know, for a big chunk of time. And then there's also going to be another big time jump in the middle of it, because a lot of it was frankly just us crunching things down to get them in 10 episodes at a certain point. Well, we're just going to jump.
And what's the reasoning behind the decision to give Penguin a dog?
I thought it was funny. You know, we thought he was kind of alone at the top of the season, where he had his minions, he had his rules. So we wanted, and he is such an emotional character. We wanted someone that he cared for, and so he has a dog, and obviously he names the dog Edward because he felt like he needed to do that. So yeah, that was really hard. It was really where I was just writing the first episode. I was like, you know what, he needs a dog. Some decisions get made that quickly. Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.